Salutations everyone, with a new year comes new video games, and it's always nice to look forward to some awesome coming installments of your favorite franchises, new and old. These are my top 15 most anticipated video games for the year 2016. This list is completely biased and only tailored to my own thoughts and likes, so yours is gonna be different. Number 15, Pokken Tournament. Mostly on this list just for the novelty of a Pokemon fighting game, where Pokemon are for the first time in video game history actually fighting each other. This is not turn-based, this is off the, as you can see, Tekken team. It's not just a straightforward 1v1 fighting game, it is in a 3D realm with support Pokemon as well, so I think it has the potential to be something pretty cool, if not just another Pokemon game. Number 14, Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. This is the third Sword Art Online game, this one coming out exclusively for the current generation of consoles following the Lost Song installment. This is a return to the Aincrad virtual realm with a revamped fighting system as well as party system that looks like it's going in the right direction. Hopefully we can get a Gun Gale Online adaptation soon after this one. Number 13, Fire Emblem Fates. After the runaway success that was Fire Emblem Awakening, Fates looks to capitalize on that fame and do what Fire Emblem games do best with the awesome strategy and story that it has to tell, as well as new characters altogether as one would expect from the Fire Emblem series of games. Number 12, Star Fox Zero. The long time coming Star Fox game, the first in 2 generations of Nintendo platforms, not counting the 3DS Star Fox 64 remake. The last one made before this was Star Fox Assault on the GameCube. And this one looks like it's going back to its 64 roots in keeping in the cockpit of your R-Wing that looks like it has a few more tricks up its sleeve this time around. A highly complicated targeting system using the Wii U gamepad might take some getting used to, but it definitely has many opportunities to surprise us and bring freshness into what has never been a stale franchise, and hopefully give us all of the Star Foxness that we have loved from previous titles, and hopefully in a more concentrated dose this time around. Number 11, Quantum Break. This was on my list last year, but it was of course pushed back once again. Nothing new to say except we have what looks like a very interesting story from the team that has given us some very nice stylized visuals and compelling storytelling with the Alan Wake series of games. Quantum Break looks to break the mold, as it were, in the third-person shooter category, with definitely some very unique looking special powers and a very compelling possible storyline to go with it. Number 10, Mighty Number 9. Once again pushed back from 2015 into a 2016 slot, Mighty Number 9 is a spiritual successor to the Mega Man video game franchise, and I've actually been able to play this one at Comic-Con 2015, and it was very fun, fast-paced. You also have boss rush modes, challenge modes, and increased difficulties to give you all the replayability you could want from a Mega Man-esque video game, here with our new buddy, Beck. Number 9, Ruby Grim Eclipse. Already in the early access program on Steam, will get its actual release in 2016. A hack and slash beat 'em up inspired by the fantastic anime Ruby, with all of the amazing girls of Vale at your disposal for Team Ruby, utilizes the fluidity and unique fighting styles that is shown in the anime to take out the creatures of Grimm in your own time. Number 8, Horizon Zero Dawn. This game looks like a mix between The Witcher, Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, and a little bit of Vanquished. It's an open world game with a lot of questing, unique looking enemies, and different ways to take them down, all by your lonesome, setting up traps using your different bolts and arrows, scavenging parts, and creating a very unique immersive world, which will hopefully have a great storyline coming to it. There will be no multiplayer, but with a focus on a nice single player campaign, that is all that a game needs, and Horizon Zero Dawn looks like that game. Number 7, The Legend of Zelda for Wii U. Finally coming out, hopefully in 2016, The Legend of Zelda for Wii U we have not seen very much of so far, but what we have seen is some very nice, highly stylized visuals with a wide open Zelda universe for the first time. Being able to ride on horseback and fire at the same time with some smart horse driving AI, as well as we can expect some nice puzzles and different enemies to destroy as Link. Number 6, Tom Clancy's The Division. Another pushback from 2015 still looks as promising as ever. With what looks like a very fresh new take on tactical third-person shooting, The Division's AI makes it seem like you can do so many different things to combat your enemies and the different ways that they can attack you. This game seems to be very seamless and fluid in its transition between scenes, as well as great voice acting, many different tactical choices to take in how you take on your enemy, as well as what could be a very challenging AI system in the right way. Looks like it could be a very fun time in a nice, refreshing third-person shooter from the Tom Clancy genre. Number 5, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Not only a mouthful to say, but a mouthful to play in the many different games available in this collection, much like the 2 games previously, with a high-definition remake of Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, as well as 2 new pieces of content from the Kingdom Hearts series. The first, Kingdom Hearts X Back Cover, tells a new tale of the Foretellers in HD cinematics, while Kingdom Hearts Point 2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage, is an all-new game that takes place after the events of Birth by Sleep, from the perspective of Aqua. Back cover and a fragmentary passage will be the 9th and 10th installments in the Kingdom Hearts series, and will hopefully give us enough to tide us over before they finally give us a Kingdom Hearts 3 release date. Number 4, Overwatch. With the many different arena MOBA inspired first-person shooters coming out this year, first with Battleborn and Battlecry and Overwatch, Overwatch looks like the most promising of the 3, with Blizzard quality stylized visuals and cutscenes, as well as fun-looking classes that play drastically different from one another, but in a very balanced looking way. Blizzard can always be trusted in giving us a competitive experience, as well as always updating and supporting the game, as well as giving us further content for a long time to come. Number 3, Gears of War 4. The first Gears of War game not being handled by the Epic team, but a new coalition team headed by Microsoft. Gears of War 4 we have not seen very much of outside of the E3 reveal, but knowing the Gears of War franchise and their first player as well as multiplayer experience, there can be a lot of fun to be had with a completely different storyline this time, with no returning characters that we know of so far. But we do know it's going to be a Gears of War experience, and that's enough to keep me highly interested. Number 2, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. The last Uncharted game to be made by Naughty Dog, and it looks like it has the potential to be the best one yet. Ending the story, we can imagine there will be amazing thematic explosions, chases, gunfights, as well as a gripping story that will have some sad departures by the end. Along with its always amazing single-player campaign, there's going to be the replayability of collecting all of the trophies, as well as a fantastic multiplayer whose beta was released earlier this year. Naughty Dog has absolutely nailed the Uncharted multiplayer this time around, as well as with customization, uses of mystical items, and of course, amazing guns and explosions. And number 1. Full light years and even galaxies away from the rest of the games on this list is my most anticipated game of 2016, Mass Effect Andromeda. Starting a completely new story far and away from the Shepard trilogy, Mass Effect Andromeda has a lot of mystery around it regarding, well, absolutely everything. But we know it's a new Mass Effect game, and that is at its core enough for me to be hyped much more for it than a game that I am completely familiar with. BioWare has never let us down, and now with a new console and a new engine, BioWare can do some crazy things in Mass Effect Andromeda, both with the always amazing single-player campaign and a multiplayer following up Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, which I think is the greatest multiplayer experience on the last generation of consoles. With a rich established universe and combat, as well as with bionic powers, tech powers, and guns, there are improvements to be made on the last installments, as well as surprising us with a new campaign, fresh faces, new characters, but in a style and universe that we have known to grow and love for many, many years. So those are my 15 most anticipated video games for 2016. Let me know in the comments which game you're looking most forward to, whether it was on this list or not, and why. Let's just hope that none of the games that we are hoping for get pushed to 2017, as some have already done.